Whimsical by Luc Patron. You are beginning to comprehend that the entire world is within your grasp, in your mind and in your soul. To find inner peace, one must first come to terms with themselves and truly appreciate life. One must embrace who they are, and once they learn how to do this, they will be shielded from all that caused them to feel unable to progress. This gift of self-discovery, even when isolated, will ensure that they will never feel alone. I've always been put in certain special ed classes and speech classes. I wasn't able to speak until I was a lot older. They put all these labels on you, and they say you're this and that. And the truth is, I just have a difficult time with learning, and so they'll try. It was mainly about the high school, actually. They put you in all these classes. They say, "Oh, you're fine. You're gonna do fine. You just need to focus more." That wasn't the problem. It was really difficult with the littlest sounds can set me off. Certain lights can set me off depending on it. There was bullying, but not like you couldn't see it. It's more like online from people at my school. And so I started getting habits, not horrible habits, but like habits like, oh, they're in this class, so I'm not gonna go to it. I would get off my bus, I would go into a room, stay there all day, and then go back home. Perhaps there is no issue with you. Perhaps it is simply difficult to live in a system that is not designed to understand the inspiration and passion such as your own.
I was never really a straight A good student. I've always been fidgety in class, and I had a lot of problems with a lot of teachers, especially in the high school. When I was younger, I used to get in trouble a lot because I wouldn't pay attention, or I wouldn't do things the way they wanted me to do things. I was a very creative person and in an uncreative environment.
To not have a high school diploma is a really hard way to try to move through our world, unfortunately, whether that's the right thing or not. It just is right now in 2023 in the United States. So, I mean, I think there's real consequences to that. Students who are not supported and who can't meet the norms and therefore are bullied, ignored, kind of pushed to the side. Yeah, it's hard.
Your participation in government, one of the things that we really focus on is helping you develop your ability to debate in a civil way. And I think we've determined already that the leadership in our country and our Congress is not very good at having civil debates. But the success of a democracy probably depends on the accurate and adequate sharing of information, which is really all this is. A debate is just taking an idea or a topic and looking at it from all perspectives so you can educate yourself and fill your mind with the right ideas and then vote with your mind and your heart. So for that one, it might be good.
The core purpose of education, I think, is to help each individual find their purpose, their abilities, how they fit within our society, and how can you do that in a way that's going to work not only for yourself but for others. Because there's the individual and then there's the society, and we want people receiving an education that is going to lift our society, but is also going to help us stay together as a community.
So there's a movie that goes perfect with this. It's like Green something.
The Green Mile?
Green Mile.
Yeah.
That would, I don't know if we're allowed to take things from movies.
Well, it's based on.
The death penalty, there's death penalty. Coming up here, it's just so different. Like, we get to call our teachers by their first names, and that was a total shock to me, because if you did that at the other school, it was disrespectful. They're teaching us how to become good models of, like, society, how to be our own, and just being with a group of people that understand your views and is a little bit more mature, and wants the same things you want.
At the High School Learning Center, we use internal control psychology. The traditional school and almost all of society uses an external control psychology, which basically is, if you do this, you get this reward. If you don't do this, you can expect this punishment in one way or another. Grades are like that. Do everything that the instructor wants and you'll be rewarded with an A. Don't do that, then you face the fear of failure. Both are coercive and remove the locus of control from the student themselves. So education becomes perceived as something that is done to them. And that's why if you're unsuccessful, then you tend to blame education in general. There's not a lot of personal responsibility involved in that. So at the High School Learning Center, we really work from the inside out. And that's been a part of our school from the beginning. We looked at the best research when we created this school, and it all had to do with empowering the individual, setting high standards for them, and then giving them the care and support in order to do that.
We'll do a little more prep.
Our students come here to campus for academic classes from 2 to 5 each day. Outside of that, they're expected to have a job or do an internship for a minimum of 15 hours a week. We're able to help students find employment, get connected with internships. We write grants that help local nonprofit employers be able to hire our students and mentor them, gives them an employee that they might not have been able to have or be able to afford, gives our student the experience, and they also get a little paycheck while they're earning elective credit for high school. In addition to that, students do 30 hours of community service a year or 10 hours each trimester. That gets them out, opens up opportunities to meet new people, make new connections, get new experiences, and who knows where that can lead. All of our students do their art through community partners rather than through art teachers in the school district. So we work with the Rockwell Museum and the Corning Museum of Glass studio, and students are there working with fantastic artists and guest artists from around the world, and they gain that experience and perspective as well.
We had a few nominees, and they had us pick through all of them, and about 4 or 5 people in the class in the arts class was like, it's like just right off the bat, it's gotta be Salem. I definitely at first felt like I didn't deserve it, but when I look back, I tried my best to be a good person to everyone and help when they need me.
What would you picture yourself like if you're not coming to high school?
Oh man, I don't want to be dramatic, but like dead. Like I probably would have either dropped out or completely failed, I think. Before I was just like, yeah, whatever, this is how it's always going to be. This is how they're going to treat us. And after being able to experience a much more calmer and a lot more accepting environment, one that is truly anti-bullying and stuff like that, I was like, okay, like it's got to change, you know? Like I kind of feel like now is the time to change it, as like children are getting older and they're wanting to revolt and like basically mean something to the world. I feel like schools should foster that. You want to know something funny? Yes. Or not funny, but right in the corner over there, my brother and I put our handprints on it, and we signed our names on the bottom, and then it got painted over so that like the other students wouldn't. But yeah, I was very happy about that. I don't know how easy it is to see because it's been a little while, and also right here, that's mine and that's his.
start at all, I wanted to pick the piece of glass that I'm going to use. Bear in mind that you're going to have to completely cover this with clear. So if you take a really big one, expect to get a really good big piece in the end. I'm going to set it down so that it's shiny side down, just right on this part of my torch here. So that way it's going to warm up as I'm getting ready with my background piece of glass. Alright, so I'm just going to start with some clear here. Shiny stuff. Shiny stuff. I just lost it. Shiny sparkly. And now when you flatten it, you want to make sure that the half side, like you don't want to come in, from the sides. You end up with you want the black side to be the back and the shiny side to be the front. So just be careful with how you squeeze it. Does that make sense? Try it again. Try it again.
Do we have those shapes that we did last time?
The stamps? Yeah, I can grab those. Holy. I'll get them for you.
All right, thank you.
It just brings you into this environment where you're welcomed, and there's definitely been people I've had an issue with that have come up here from the regular high school, but those people I'm best friends with now, and it's surprising because when I first heard that they were coming up, I was like, oh no. It's not too late to drop out, but I stayed and I realized why they acted this way or why they did this and that.
It's a mushroom. It's a mushroom. There you go. Yeah, try it with the stamps too. I want to see how that
I'm
goes.
gonna take one of these off.
Yeah, that sounds cool. You should try and give that a shot.
A lot of us don't think it's like, why are they like this? And a lot of people that have come up here, I shouldn't say bullies, but they weren't treated right personally. And so a lot of them have taken that out on people. And you learn why, and you get through it.
Scared me too, Billy.
No. Is your hand okay? What hand did you get? The other hand.
I'm applying to Hartwick in Oneonta. It's towards Binghamton, and they have a glass blowing program. And the application is, one of the deadlines is next week. I'm going to be getting my art major, and they're going to really try to make my main focus glass blowing, since that's what I want to do. So they're going to try and get me in the studio when some other people aren't there. Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. I haven't told my mom yet. I'm applying next week, and if I get in, then I'm telling her, surprise. I'm going to take her out to dinner if I do, so that's going to be nice to look at.
Yeah, these are awesome. Love them. Yeah, the little snips. Wow, chef's kiss.
Oh wait, I forgot I made feathers.
Yeah, these are awesome. Those are the ones I'm marveling over. They're great.
So POL reflection is how I've changed personally, what I've accomplished academically, but I still need to graduate my elective credit, which is my working, what I've done for work, what I've done for like music electives, art electives, community service. My goals from last and next trimester.
At the end of each trimester, our students do what's called a presentation of learning, and it's a very comprehensive reflection on where was I as an individual and how far have I come? Where am I now? What are my plans? What are my goals for next trimester or in the future related to this class? Standardized testing is one measure, but there's a lot of ways to measure the success of a school. If you can provide an opportunity for someone that connects them to resources and skills and connections that save their lives, that's, to me, the ultimate measure.
I'm so nervous for the interview. Like, I have a good feeling. She said that I was qualified and that I could. I'm still nervous anyways. I feel like I'm finally starting my career after what happened in Pittsburgh, and having to come back. This is a step in the right direction. It feels so weird, like, I don't know, working in a place where, like, my face is on the building right across from it. I'm gonna have to be like, I promise I did not do this on purpose. Just is a nice a silly little coincidence. Very excited.
It was around the mural, after I gave the speech for this year's mural. A little bit before that, I decided to go to college. And I'm gonna look at my mom right now, and I'm gonna say she's gonna know that I troubled her so much, saying, no, I'm not going to college. I made it so difficult for me just to finally decide to go to college. But yeah, that's the plan.
I've got so many aspirations of things that I want to do, and specifically my main goal for myself is to become a funeral director, have my own funeral home, and start employing people who, want to start doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I want to take care of other people. Like I have always said when I'm talking about government type stuff, it's the government's job to protect and to help us. And when they're not doing it, we're supposed to be doing it for each other. So I really want to be the embodiment of that and, bring joy to the people who need it.
Whimsical. You are beginning to comprehend the entire world is within your grasp, in your mind and in your soul. To find inner peace, one must first come to terms with themselves and truly appreciate life. One must embrace who they are, and once they learn how to do this, they will be shielded from all that caused them to feel unable to progress. This gift of self-discovery, even when isolated, will ensure that they will never feel alone. Perhaps there is no issue with you. Perhaps it is simply difficult to exist in a system that is not designed to understand inspiration and passion such as your own.
For your identity, you keep running from you so quickly onto someone new, even though your love for me is confused. You gotta hurt to wanna change. What worked for you at 19 won't work for you today, 'cause your time is running out. Inside all the self-doubt as a child that really loves to be found. You keep running from you. 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 Without looking deep inside, these patterns reappear in our lives. Even the greatest love we share will fall apart when we're not aware of our darkened